much for joining me. My name is Tori, and I'm the outreach educator for the Friends of the Nature Center, which means that I am usually the traveling animal lady. But while the Nature Center is closed, I am bringing animal education programs right to your homes, and I am doing that from my home. So today I am filming in my tiny little backyard, and today we are going to be doing part 2 of our animal question series. So I asked you all to send in your burning animal questions, and you all did not disappoint. I got some wonderful questions, and I'm going to be answering some of those today. All right, so our first question today is going to be from Caleb. Hi, Caleb. And Caleb wants to know, why do birds drop their feathers, and do they grow new feathers? So that's a wonderful question. Feathers are very strong and very complex, but they don't last forever. So birds have to drop their feathers or molt in order to replace them with fresh feathers. So that actually answers your second question as well. They do replace those feathers. And when they molt has a lot of different factors. So it will be based upon the season. So is it cold out? Is it warm out? It's also based upon their breeding behavior. So birds will not molt. They will not drop their feathers during breeding season. And a big reason for that is because a lot of the times when birds molt, they molt a lot of feathers at once. So they end up looking kind of patchy and a little rough. And during breeding season, they always want to look their best and have their nice, full, shiny new feathers, so they're not going to molt and end up looking a little patchy and messy during breeding season. And as long as there's nothing medically wrong with the bird, they can still hunt and fly and do all of those other things that they need to survive while they're molting. All right, our next question is going to come from Anne, and Anne wants to know, why do foxes have long tails? So foxes, there's a couple different reasons why foxes have those long, fluffy tails. One reason why foxes and a lot of other animals have tails is for balance. So if you think about walking across a balance beam, if you've done that before, was it easier for you to balance when you had your arms out in a T shape or when you had your arms straight down at your sides? So you can think of foxes, of their tails, as sort of being like their arms being out in a T shape. So it gives them the extra ability to balance, and that's why so many animals have tails. Another reason why foxes have tails is to help keep them warm. So they'll actually wrap those tails around their bodies when it's cold outside, since they're so big and fluffy, and that will help keep their bodies warm. And they can even use their tails to communicate with other foxes. All right, we've got a few more questions here. Our next question is from Jayme, and Jayme wants to know, why do wolves have fur? So all mammals, and that's what we are, have some sort of fur or hair, right? We've got hair on our heads and other parts of our bodies, hairy arms, all that fun stuff. So all mammals have fur or hair, and it helps to keep us warm. So if you think about gray wolves especially, gray wolves have very, very thick fur, and that's because they tend to live in colder climates. Red wolves are native to the southeastern United States, where it doesn't get nearly as cold as places like Washington State. And so red wolves actually don't have nearly as thick fur as gray wolves. So it really has to do a lot with where they're living. And fur also, as a bonus, works as a really wonderful camouflage. All right, we've got one more question, and our final question is from Lilly. And Lilly wants to know, why do unicorns have a horn? Now, I had to do a little research for this one because I am not a unicorn expert, but after my research, I feel like I am. So there's a few different reasons, a few different schools of thought why unicorns have horns. One thought is that unicorns can actually pull poison out of water with their horns, which makes sense because unicorns are associated with purity and wholesome, right, and goodness. And so it makes sense that they would be able to purify water with their horns. Some other texts have actually said that unicorns can heal sickness with their horns. So they can purify water, they can pull poison out of water, they can heal sickness. Now, if you're a Harry Potter fan, then you already know that unicorns, we can actually use a single hair from the tail of a unicorn and actually put that into the core of a magic wand. So unicorns are very, very important. They have a lot of different uses in our society. All right, thank you all so much for sending in your wonderful animal questions. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. It was wonderful to see you all, and I will see you next time for our next Wild at Home. Bye, guys.